Hi, everybody. We're about to get started with the workshop. If everyone's ready. Hello. Okay. Okay. Waterfall. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Amazing. So, my name is Gran, and I'm here to give you your next workshop. So, yeah, on the screen, you can see our next workshop is on rocket science, rocket dynamics. So, I'll tell you a little bit about myself and my qualifications. So I am a two-time Kinderwide Science Fair medalist. I am also an FRC alumni. I saw an FRC robot out front. And I also launched a rocket with the European Space Agency in 2019. And as well, I just graduated from space engineering. I have a bachelor's of space engineering from York University. So that is how I got into rocket science and rocket dynamics. So a little bit of an overview. So I swear this won't be a lecture. I'm just going to go into a little bit of the basics. And so when we get into the workshop part of it, things will kind of connect together and make a little bit more sense. So as you can see on the screen, there's different portions of a rocket. The most important parts are the nose cone. So that's at the very front of the rocket. And then you have your payload, which is in the middle of the rocket. And then you have your rocket motor, which is at the end of the rocket. And that is what is going to be launching it upwards. And as well, two important components of rockets are the center of mass and the center of pressure. So the center of mass is basically the middle of it. So where the middle of the mass is, and then the center of pressure depends on the drag and the lift forces on the rocket. So as well, in terms of rocket stability, the center of gravity always has to be above the center of pressure. And if it's not, then you'll get a rocket that tumbles. So as well, I wanted to just throw in the rocket equation. We don't have to go into the rocket equation, but I just wanted to show you so you can be like, yes, rocket science. Yes, exactly. And then this is also the basics of a rocket mission, but we're going to use Kerbal Space Program and we're going to be building a rocket together. Exactly. Oh no, that's okay. Well, we're going to play it today. So here we go. All right. So let's build a rocket together. First of all, we have to start with our nose cone. Yes, the command module, but then we can put the nose cone on top of the command module. And then let's get to, here we go. There we go. Now we have a nose cone. This one isn't going to fit on that rocket. This is Kerbal Space Program. Oops. All right, so aerodynamics, there we go. So there, that nose cone fits. So next we can get into the decoupler is just so then the stages can separate in terms of the game. But now I'm first going to build a rocket that that isn't necessarily ideal. And so then we can look into how rocket dynamics explains that. So we'll put this here. Wonder. Yes. For sure, I can. And then let's get into a rocket engine. So let's pick this rocket engine. And then aerodynamics. Let's do some funny stuff. Let's make it a little interesting here. It's looking a little funny, but that's the plan. So this is our. Exactly. We're gonna see what happens with it.
Let's see if it.
Yes. Let's see. I hope so. Alrighty, so this is not looking too good. So we can see about launching this. What does everybody think is going to happen? But yeah, it's going to spin. What do you think? It's going to go in loops. What do you think? It's going to tilt really fast. Yeah. It will flip. What about you? Yeah, so it sounds like everyone's kind of thinking the same thing, which is great. You're all great rocket scientists. So let's. We. All right. So that has the auto stability on too. That's not too good. So everyone was right. So there you could see that the rocket was flipping over and over. So let's go back to where we built this rocket. Right to the vehicle assembly. So looking at this rocket's center of mass is going to be somewhere around here. And then the center of mass is also going to change as the rocket gets rid of the fuel. A big portion of the rocket's mass is its fuel. Yes?
Okay, so bottom left.
Mm-hmm. There we go. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Okay. Ah, this is great. This is better. This is amazing. Thank you so much. So yeah, as you can see here, we have the aerodynamic overlay and then the thrust. So yeah, because the center of mass is not in the center of the rocket, and as well, the center of pressure is above the center of gravity, that's what caused the rocket to flip. So now let's get rid of these. These were messing up our rocket. Oh no. Okay, there we go. Yeah, there's just a little bit of music. I can turn it up a bit so we get the Kerbal. Yes. We do. You are correct. So we're going to start adding more fuel tanks. And this way we can get out of the atmosphere. So that's going to be our next goal. Let's see what it takes to get out of the atmosphere. So I need to add this here. And then let's add more fuel tanks on the side. That is a coupler, so then I can connect a fuel tank on the side of the. I'm not sure. Okay. I should have grabbed my mouse for this. Alrighty. There we go. Now we can see around our rocket better. Yes, I am not making any rocket in particular. I was just going off the vibes. All right, so let's put another fuel tank here. And then we also have to add some of these. This is to make sure all the fuel tanks go together. All right. Now let's pick an engine. Okay, now let's consider our aerodynamics. Put our little nose cones. All right. Yes? Sorry? Might want to check the staging? Yes. Sorry, what was that? Yeah, the symmetrical build is very important. All right. All right. I will change. Okay, do we want to have a countdown for this launch? All right, so let's count from 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes. Yes. Yeah, Bob Kermit's a little nervous here. Oh no. Look at, that's not good. We're nearing orbit. Well, I think it's just exiting the atmosphere now. And there we go, we're out of fuel. We're in the atmosphere. Yeah, look at us. So that's why we're slowing down, but we're still moving forwards because we have left the atmosphere. Yes. Bob Kerbin is Gran because he is a Kerbal. And he's a Kerbal is a species. It's the species on the planet of Kerbin. There we go. So now it's just Kerbin in space. We ran out of fuel. No, not in space. That would not be good for him. Yes. It's a game on Steam. Yes. A new, sorry, a missile. We're only doing rockets today. Not exactly. Technically, it's the number of ailerons on the rocket that defines it, the difference between a rocket and a missile. So kind of like how much you can control a rocket in terms of like direction, if that makes sense. All right. Let's level up our rocket. Oh, you want to see re-entry? I think I already went back. I'm sorry. Yes, in the red shirt. Oh, same question? Yeah, both of you can ask. Sorry, I can't hear what you're saying. Sorry, I still can't hear you. How do you access this? This isn't the early access. This is a Kerbal Space Program 1. Yeah. Awesome. Yes. Kerbal does not. I don't know if he does actually. Sorry, did you ask about? I don't have the new one.
So why would he not?
Oopsie. That doesn't look quite right. Alrighty. That's right. I was just gonna ask. Let's add some more fuel. We'll just move this upwards. Amazing. So how much more fuel do we want to add? How far are we going? Up? Sure. Okay, I'm gonna try this again. Waterfall. It works every time. Okay, I love that you guys are getting all excited and talking about this and stuff, but I think that it's important that we respect Megan, right? And like what she's trying to do. So let's try to keep conversations to a minimum, and let's try, like participating when she asks us to, and not just talking over her. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, so how many more fuel tanks do we want to add? 5? 20? 10? I think I'll let's start with 5. I'll try to make 5 work. Let's do this. And then we'll put an engine on it. And then we have to connect the fuel tanks. Gonna do this. This just makes it so all the fuel is coming from the same spot. Are we ready to launch? Anything else we want to add?
Thumbs up or down? Ready to launch?
Ready to launch? More fuel? More fuel? All right. And a bigger engine. I think this is the big engine. I think this is the one that goes far. All right, I'll do 2 more fuel tanks. So we'll do 4 fuel tanks. Let's go. All righty. And now the engines. There we go. All right, ready to launch? I don't know. I don't know if we can. Let's try it. Something in the middle? Okay, 2 more fuel tanks. You've convinced me. This is a big rocket.
That's fine. As long as it has enough fuel.
Okay. The last engine. There we go. Okay, now let's launch.
Launch it.
Wait a second. Just want to make sure everything's connected. Let's see how this goes. All right, we are on the launch pad. I'm gonna throttle it up. Oh, no. I'm not sure if it's gonna launch. We can try it. Let's do a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No, it didn't launch. All right. Let's go back to the Space Center. I think we're gonna take off some of those fuel tanks. I'm so sorry. Okay. Yeah, let's take off a couple of these.
Six.
Let's do this. All right. No.
No, there's a little.
Yes. I swear I'm putting them back. Hmm. All right, I have an idea. I'll move some of these fuel tanks around. We'll do this. We'll just make it a super tall rocket. That's okay. We can do, we'll do like the countdown. Great, thank you so much. Alrighty. Oh, I see. Oh, no. Yes. Tape them together. It is not happy. Okay. Let's try this. All right, command pod. The nose cone. And the engine. Okay. All right, here we go. So. This is the International Space Station on a rocket. So who is excited to launch the International Space Station? Yay! No, it won't build itself. So the reason it looks like this is because unfortunately, Kerbal Space Program isn't exactly like real life. So normally, sorry? Bob is still alive. Bob is still with us. Yes, I swear. Sorry? Yes. There we go. All right, we are on the launch pad. All right, we're throttling up now, maximum throttle. So can we have a countdown for launch? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Look at all those fuel tanks on the side. There you go. There's, I think, 25 fuel tanks at least. Oh, 30, 40, 50, oh, 48. Look at how slow it's going in the beginning. So that's something that's also really interesting, is when rockets start to launch. If you've ever seen the SpaceX launches or the NASA launches, they normally have the speed at the bottom of the screen. And I'd always find it so funny because it's going like under 100 kilometers an hour for quite a bit before it actually gets up into space. Yeah. Exactly. Because you're fighting, like, since these rockets are so heavy, it's fighting gravity with the weight of its entire rocket. So that's why it needs so much fuel to propel itself up. But the fuel also adds weight as well. Yes. So this, sorry. This is the speed of it. So this is 78 meters per second. So you would just divide by 1,000 for kilometers per second. There we go. Yeah. So these are all the different spots on the rocket that have fuel and oxidizer. It's still going. Let's see where we are in orbit. There we go. We're still going. We're at 4,000 meters, so about 4 kilometers. We can speed this up a little bit. Oh no, no, we're going too fast. Oh no. All right. So we only have enough time for about one more launch. This ISS launch didn't exactly go as planned. A really tall one. All the fuel tanks. Sorry? There, sounds good.
All right, so how many of you saw the SpaceX launch? I think it was about 2 weeks ago. Starship? Did anybody see that and get reminded of what happened with Starship? Yes? No? Some of you, I see. You might want to look it up. So basically, it's probably one of the biggest rockets to exist on the face of the planet right now. They tried to launch the space, it did not go as planned, it flipped over and then they had to explode it. And basically that's what that reminded me of. So I don't know, I felt like a connection there. Yeah, so that's one of the things I thought about that launch. But other than that, so that was the space station, which obviously did not go as planned. It makes sense because you see it's not the most aerodynamically stable rocket. But as we build another one, what do you guys want to see? Yeah. Spin on the ground and still go up. That would be a helicopter, not a rocket. Right? Anybody else? Yes? Go out of the solar system. Now, does anybody here know about the Voyager spacecrafts? Voyagers? The only two spacecrafts to leave the solar system that we know so far. Do you guys know how long it took them to leave? Keep guessing. Yes, guess. Yeah. Longer? 50 years. Almost 50 years to leave the solar system. And they were traveling at speeds that nobody has even seen before. So if you want to leave the solar system, you might want to stay here for maybe the next couple of days if you're going to simulate that up there. So really want to do that? Yeah? All right. So speaking of the Voyagers, they were launched later in the 70s. Do you guys know what rockets were launched just literally a decade earlier? Quite famous landings. Huge rockets, probably the biggest ones before the Starship. Oh, anybody know the Ares 4 rockets? The ones that were scrapped before the Space Launch System? Anyone? Have you guys watched the SLS launches?
What?
The Space Launch System, that's this new rocket that's designed to go to the moon. Yes, no? Well, it sort of looks like that, but it's not as fat as you think it might be. So, I think we're good to launch for this one, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
So this one will hopefully leave the atmosphere. This is our final launch, so we need your best countdown ever. Everyone ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Lift off.
Yay! Yes, but it's a much lighter rocket, so it's going to go up much faster than the International Space Station one. There we go. And this is actually also a liquid and solid fuel rocket. So this interesting thing about solid fuel rockets, when a solid fuel is launched, you can't put it out. It's basically you launch it and it just continues to burn. Meanwhile, a liquid fuel you use with oxidizer, so you can control for how long you're launching it. You could stop it from firing. So it's technically, in that sense, a safer fuel. So soon we're going to run out of solid fuel. And now we're just on the liquid fuel. Look, we're starting to leave the atmosphere. Ideally, you don't leave the atmosphere going straight up. You want to go in at a bit of an angle so you can begin to enter orbit much more smoothly. But when I touch the controls, the rocket likes to flip and turn like it has previously. So I'm just going to let it go straight upwards. Let's look at the map. Oh, there we are. That's us. We've made it into orbit. We are that high, which is,
We're just about passing the carbon line,
yes.
around 100 kilometers above the surface.
Perfect. And we're almost out of fuel. So now we are officially in space because we have passed 100 kilometers. There we go.
It is possible.
And there we are. Look at, that's our orbit. Look at us. That's our orbit. Right there.
So we're gonna go up and crash back down.
I guess.
Yay.
Yay. Congratulations. So. From this, Kerbal Space Program is a game on Steam. I think you could also download it on their website. But it's kind of an accessible way for people to have a chance to work on rocketry and rocket science. And so from this, I hope you take away that you're now all officially rocket scientists. You now know about center of pressure and center of gravity and how that can make a rocket fail and then how to make a rocket succeed. Yes. What happened to Bob? I don't know what happened to Bob. Bob is on his lunch break. Bob is gone. But yeah, that is the end of the workshop.
Round of applause for Megan here. Thank you so much for showing us this amazing game, guys. Kerbal Space Program 2 is coming out soon, so keep an eye out for that. But for now, you can take Kerbal Space Program 1. Thank you so much for being this here.